Uh, Welcome. This is a presentation of Wave PTX and how it can be used for highway uh, and highway tolls. Um, Wave PTX is a solution from Motorola. Uh, this solution does not is similar to a walkie-talkie that more a two-way radio that Motorola is famous for. However, this solution uses uh, LTE as a backbone. So it uses the LTE SIM card or Wi-Fi as a backbone, right? So the advantage is that you get a wide area coverage, nationwide coverage actually. Uh, so I'll go to the presentation quickly and explain to you other features. If should you have any queries uh, after this presentation, please free to reach out through our partners or through me to this contact details. So Wave PTX is a made in India solution. It's developed out of Motorola's R&D center based out of Bangalore. Um, the solution is completely hosted by Motorola. That means you can get the devices from Motorola. You get the complete solution hosted by Motorola. You get all the support from Motorola. It is sold through our partner network in India. So these are some of the countries that I'm in charge of, and we have sold Wave PTX presently available in Asia Pac region. The countries being Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, and India now, Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, and Indonesia. There are some additional countries that we'll be launching in the rest of the year. The reason I'm showing you this is to give you, so this is Asia Pac only that I'm in charge of, but Wave PTX as a solution is available globally in multiple countries, right? If including North America, South America, in Europe. The reason I'm showing you this is to highlight, and what we plan to do over the course of this presentation is give you the best practices of how Wave PTX is used in other places, so you can maybe incorporate it if you think that's appropriate. So the Wave PTX solution offers features like group call, similar to your two-way radio, right? One-to-one calling. That means on a PTT, you can PTT a single user, right? Emergency calling. Emergency calling is when you press a emergency button and it sends out a message, both voice and if it's a and location, to a preconfined set of users. So I could say in a highway type environment, I am doing some work and I have an emergency. I press the emergency button. That is sent to, let's say, the head of operations or the dispatcher or the head of security, right? So pre-configured people. A broadcast call. If broadcast call is typically used where in case of an incident or an accident, you want one person to be in command and you get all the resources, whoever has who's using our solution to be available. So the broadcast call is one person speaks, everybody listens. Priority call. Priority call is very useful as a feature where you want the senior management or the senior staff to have a higher priority, let's say, than the security guard, for example, right? So you want to differentiate the level and accessibility of the solution as per the hierarchy of your organization and the need for them to have access to the system. Call alert. Call alert, typically what happens is if you're driving, right, or you're busy with something, someone calls you, you may miss the call in a cellular type environment. With our PTT solution, I can select a user, press call alert. It will keep beeping that person until that person accepts the call. So these are the call features. Now, all of our devices have an inbuilt GPS. Using the inbuilt GPS, we have developed features like user finder. User finder, you can find a user on a web-based dispatcher. That means you have a login and password on a computer, and then you can access your users on the map. Or you can have a large screen display. We'll talk about the Evolve is a product like that. So you can see your users on the device itself, right? Dynamic group call. Dynamic group call is let's say there's an unfortunate accident and you want the security person, the towing van, the ambulance service, all to be quickly brought into a group. So dynamic group call is where you can quickly select different people in different groups and bring them into one common group. What you could also do is that you could have this pre-configured, but in case you dynamically want to add and delete people, this is what this feature is for. Geofencing. Geofencing, as the name suggests, you want to create a zone and you say all my vehicles are parked in that place. When they leave, I need to get an alert so that I can record when my vehicle has moved, right? And when it's come back to that designated place, right? That is one. Area-based group call. Let's say along the highway, there is, again, unfortunate incident, and you want anybody in that area who's using your Wave PTX solution across different departments. It could be the maintenance team, it could be the electrical team, it could be the toll collection team, it could be whatever team. You want all of them to be brought in that particular zone. Like you can create an area of 500 meters, 1 kilometer, and all of them become part of that one area location talk group. Status message and status and custom messages. Because we are using the LTE SIM card, we are able to send images, files, videos, all of that, because we are using because in a two-way radio, you didn't have the bandwidth. But because out here, we are using the LTE SIM card, you're using the LTE SIM card bandwidth, you're able to send data. Web-based dispatcher. Web-based dispatcher, as the name suggests, you have a login and password, and you can see all the users on the map, right? Monitoring talk group. Monitoring talk group is where you can monitor up to 20 talk groups in your system. Okay. I'll go from now from top to down. So PTT communication, we talked about group call, private call, emergency call, broadcast call, priority call. On the location services, we talked about user finder, dynamic group call. All of them are using the GPS location and hence making calls as that. In a cellular environment, for real-time presence, you sometimes you're calling a person and he's busy or he misses your call, right? And you don't know what. Whereas in our solution, we have a facility, or depending on the device that you choose, you can select real-time presence, or he could say himself busy. Let's say, for example, I'm busy. I do not want to receive any calls during that period of time, but I could make calls out. But once my meeting is over, I can change my status and then I can receive and make all PTT calls. This is what the feature of real-time presence is. Text messaging, we already talked about it earlier. So text messaging, photo and video sharing are all because of the LTE bandwidth that we have. So I can send custom text messages, I can send photos or receive photos to a single person, to a group of people. I can do live video streaming to a single person or to a group of people. Video message, voice message fallback. Typically what will happen is, let's say for some reason I'm traveling and then someone is trying to contact me. So what they could do is they could record the conversation and send it. It will be stored and forward. And then once I switch on my device again, I can see all the messages that people have left for me. I'll go on to the next slide now. So these are the three typical devices that we have. The TLK100, it looks and feels like a walkie-talkie. It has a dedicated PTT button. It supports up to 96 channels. It has a very long battery life. The display is flushed. It's an LED display that's flushed into the device itself. So, and it works on LTE or Wi-Fi. So you can put a regular Airtel, Vodafone or Jio SIM and you can make a push-to-talk call. It only allows PTT calling. It does not allow cellular calling. The TLK150 is a vehicle-mounted device, or it can be used as a fixed unit, whereby you can it comes with a power cable. We'll talk about all the things that come with it, and you can connect this device to your vehicle. So this device supports it works from 12 to 24 volts DC, so it can work on the battery of your vehicle, and it has reverse voltage protection. The next device on top out here you see is the Evolve. The Evolved allows, it has a dedicated PT button, has a volume knob, has a channel knob supporting up to 96 channels. It can be it can be used for both. It can be used for PTT calling and on making cellular calling. So it is typically used for like an officer grade or someone above, right? And the TLK100 is used by security and the other users in the field. The TLK150 is a vehicle mounted, typically a vehicle mounted device or a fixed unit. So the advantages of Wave PTX, right? So you have multiple devices catering to different segments of the market. Uh, you have we have a certified repair center in Bangalore. So if a device goes faulty during the warranty period, any factory issues, any factory faults, they can be sent to Bangalore to be repaired and sent back to you. The software and the firmware, everything is developed in our R&D center in Bangalore. So this is the only global development center that Motorola has for the solution. So it's actually Atmanirbhar product. It's actually made in India, right? And exported and sold globally. This software, because we understand our customers use our services 24/7, we have level 2 and level 3 support. So through our partner. So if any issues with your service or you need any help, you can call our partners. And if the partners, for any reason, not able to support you or needs further technical assistance, they can contact us 24/7. Our solution is a global solution, right? Because we're selling it globally. So this solution is ISO 2700 on the software side, is SOC 2 compliant. The hardware itself is ISO 9000 compliant. We're talking about using this any SIM card for our service, right? So you could use Vodafone, Jio, or Airtel, and you could use a combination. In some places, you have a better coverage of Airtel. Some places you have a better coverage of Jio. Some places you have your Wi-Fi. So we need to make sure that the data that we're sending, the voice that we're sending, is encrypted. So the solution that we provide comes as bundled in with AES-256 encryption, because we are a Motorola is a US-based company. We meet US standards also, which is FIPS 140. We also meet the latest encryption, Makisaki. The solution itself is a standard-based solution, so it meets 3GPP compliance. So this is what I was telling you about. So if you see the device itself, the software and data is encrypted. It goes through the SIM card, through the network, cellular network. And on the server side also, it's AES-526 encrypted, FIPS 140, SOC 2 compliant, and ISO 2700 compliance. If a customer wants to make sure that this device is used only for our service and nothing else, we can assist you to talk to Vodafone, Jio, or Airtel and make sure that the SIM card is whitelisted. What does whitelisting means? That the SIM card is only used for our service and nothing else, right? So you want to make sure that the SIM card is not being misused for anything else. We can make sure that the SIM card is whitelisted for only our service. Just three broad pillars of our solution. So you have the mobile app that can be used on an Android or an iPhone. We have the device itself, which is supported by Motorola, solely supported by Motorola, the TLK100, the TLK150, or the Evolve, like I showed you earlier. And then you have the third component in the middle, which is the web dispatcher, where you have a login and password, and you can store and send all data of your customers. So I'll quickly go to the tracking facility. So the device that we provide, the TLK150 or the TLK100, they come with the inbuilt GPS, like I mentioned. So you can do one-to-one calling, group calling, all the features that we talked about, and also tracking. This is the unique position of it, right? So someone in a control room, either on a dispatcher or a Evolved device, can track his users in the field, right? If there's an emergency pressed by the user, either from the TLK150 or the TLK150 or the TLK100, that emergency can be sent to the dispatcher or to a group of people, or to send to a Evolved device. So the advantage is the supervisor can see where the user is on the map and then take appropriate action. So this is how it will look like. It's an emergency. The TLK150, the menu button is programmed on the safeguard package. You need it. There are two standard packages. We have the standard and the safeguard. For emergency, you need the safeguard package. And when he presses the emergency button, that location and voice is sent to a supervisor on his evolve or on the dispatcher. So the feature that we offered is GPS tracking. Uh, the solution itself is scalable, it's geo-redundant. We have a rich set of features like I've talked about. We have the domain knowledge. We have done it in multiple locations. It's used in, the solution is made in India. It is the hardware and the software and everything is supported by Motorola through our partners. We have a dedicated Motorola service center in Bangalore. Uh, we offer a 24/7 support through our partners, and there's no frequency our license renewal required. You just need to pay Motorola through our partners the subscription charge. The SIM card you can take on your own, or you can take it through our partners, but you don't have to worry about the frequency, or like, because there's no frequency use. We are using packet data. In case you have an existing two-way radio system, the legacy old two-way radio system, and you want to connect that to the wave, that is also possible. And we can work through our partners and we can make that happen. So that advantage is that you can now have a pan-India coverage by the TLK and the wave solution itself, and also connecting to your old legacy two-way radio systems. So you can have different groups for different, let's say, feature that you have one for that one talk group for the towing, one channel for the ambulance, one for security, one for transport, one at headquarters. So whatever different talk groups, and you can have different locations all be connected to one or different talk groups. So quick differentiation between the two-way radio and Wave PTX. The traditional two-way radio does not allow one-to-one calling. Wave PTX does. Both of them offer group calling. Dynamic group call is not offered by two-way radio. Broadcasting is not there. Dispatcher is not there. Sending of photos and images is not there. So all of these good features are being made to be available from Wave PTX. You do not need a WPC license in Wave PTX. So all the hassle of renewals, procuring the license for the devices, procuring the license for the frequency, you don't need all of that in Wave PTX. Coverage is limited in a two-way radio, whereas in Wave PTX you have a pan-India coverage. Wherever the data SIM card works or Wi-Fi is available, Wave PTX can be used out there. In the two-way radio, there are limited number of devices or the features available, whereas in Wave PTX you have the latest technology. So a wrap on what we are offering. The solution works on Wi-Fi and cellular. There's no WCC charges required. Prepaid. It's a pan-India coverage. It's easier to use and manage, and the devices are rugged and built for the job. The solution itself is made in India. It's resilient and rugged. We offer 2-year warranty on our devices, a 1-year warranty on accessories. The development center is in Bangalore. We have an authorized service center in Bangalore, and we offer a 24/7 support. We offer features like we talked about: emergency, broadcast, and dispatcher. So this is, let's say, somebody on the patrol is walking the security guard. The control room can look at where he is and talk to him. So using the camera as a combination, if you have a CCTV camera or the voice, you can actually track the person on using the inbuilt GPS of the TLK100. And at the same time, if you happen to have a camera, CCTV camera, you can also see the person. So the TLK100 itself, it has a dedicated PDD button. It has a channel knob that can go up to 96 channels. It has a very sensitive microphone. It has a flushed-in display. So it has a very extended battery life. Plus, you can put a replaceable battery, so you can use this device 24/7. This device itself has won many awards. It's won the IF Design Award, the Red Dot Award from Singapore, the Good Design European Award. Okay, so this device, as you see, it has a channel knob. It has a dedicated PD button, a power knob, a power button, a sensitive microphone, a loudspeaker, a very good battery. It works on LTE and Wi-Fi. Out here, you see the device with the dedicated PT button, the power button, the menu button to press emergency, the channel knob can take you up to 96 channels. So typically, like we mentioned earlier, the TLK 100 works on Wi-Fi and cellular. You could buy extra accessories if you want to make it hands-free, either the palm fist microphone or we have a variety of headsets. You can buy a single unit charger to charge your spare battery or a multi-unit charger. The multi-unit charger comes with a 6-position charger, so you can either charge 6 batteries at a time or 6 devices. This is the Evolve device I talked about, typically used by a supervisor. So it has, it can be used for cellular calling and PTT calling. It has a volume knob, it has a channel knob, it has a decent battery size, a big display, a typically device to be used by supervisors and senior management. And it also offers, you can make cellular calling from this. So this is just a quick snapshot of how on your Evolve device itself, you can see your users on the map, right? So if you see the last column, you click on that, you see all the users on the map, and you can double click, zoom in and see the exact location of the device of your users in the map. So the Evolve supports both PTT and cellular calling. It has a dedicated PTT button. It has a large display to see your members on the phone. It supports up to 96 channels. On the highway dispatcher itself, they can see all the users on the highway on a single map, which the dispatcher, like I mentioned earlier, it's a web-based login and password tool where you can have a link, you type in the username password, and then you can log into. The dispatcher also offers you up to 20 talk groups for a month's time as part of the package, right? Going to the TLK 100, what comes in the box? That comes with the device itself. It comes with the GPS and the LTE antenna. It comes with the battery door and the holster or the belt clip. It comes with the charger. The TLK 150, it comes with the device itself. It comes with the palm fist microphone. It comes with a LT and a GPS antenna. It comes with a power cable. This power cable you can connect to your vehicle, and it will work on the DC of the power supply of the battery of your vehicle, and it will make this. You can use the DC battery of the vehicle to run the TLK 150, because this device itself is reverse voltage protection and works from 12 to 24 volts. The Evolve, what comes in the box comes with the device itself, the battery, the carry holster, the belt clip. It comes with the battery door and a charger. So like I mentioned earlier, this solution is made in India. I'll give a quick example of how Wave PTX can use for a highway or a toll. And what I'm showing out here is to give an example of Mumbai Pune, because it was the first major highway built in India. There are many more coming in. Thanks to our Prime Minister and Roads and Transport Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari. So let's look at where our solution can be used for all these new highways that are coming in, right, or existing highways. So it can be used at the entry and exit. It can be used at different positions. It can be used for the ambulance that are available on these highways nowadays, the towing trucks, so they can all communicate with each other. You can have the different teams that go along the highways. You can, like I mentioned earlier, the ambulance service, the towing, the highway patrol, the cranes that are in case, then the department that the lighting departments, then any service center guys can who mechanics can also use our devices to communicate. So a quick reference or differentiation between walkie-talkie, GPS, and Wave PTX. Basically, Wave PTX is a combination of the walkie-talkie plus the GPS tracking, plus you can also send images, videos, files. So there's a lot more that comes with Wave PTX Otherwise, you'll have a separate walkie-talkie, a separate GPS, a separate dispatcher. All of that is separate. Out here, everything comes to you from Wave PTX as Motorola. A quick differentiation. Wave PTX can be used both by a standard Android and iPhone. I would recommend using Motorola equipment because of the very fact that you have a better GPS, battery life, a better speaker. The devices are more rugged. Then you're able to send images, text, and video using the Wave PTX application. All the data is encrypted. Uh, you can have you have limited number of groups in a walkie-talkie, whereas in Wave PTX you have up to 1,000 users. You can track all your users on the Google Map. An account manager can create or delete or make sure that no data is sent outside the network, outside your group of people. So I'm just giving an example of the road from Salem to Velankani as an example. So you have a long road. You need coverage only on the main highway. Typically, you always have cellular coverage. So using our solution and using an LTE SIM card, you're able to cover the full area without much of infrastructure to be invested, right? We already talked about all these features. Suppose Wi-Fi and cellular calling, no WPC charges to be paid. The pan-India coverage is easier to manage. You have a dispatcher solution, except for a subscription fees that you would pay. The solution is made in India. The development centers in Bangalore, the authorized service in Bangalore, again, 2-year warranty, and you have a 24/7 support. So the main advantages of using Motorola, right? So the Wave PTX is supported by Motorola. You can do up to 1,000 users in the group. The solution, your account can have up to 5,000 users. It's a very large number that you may not need. Scalability, it's a scalable solution. You can start with a few radios and extend it as required. It has new features like emergency calling, broadcast calling, dynamic group calling. You can interrupt with your existing two-way radios. The solution itself comes with AS256 and FIPS 140 and Makisaki. All of this comes part of the solution. We can help you with whitelisting your SIM cards, whereby it then becomes the device is being used only for our solution and SIM card is not being misused. We offer a geo-redundant solution. The solution itself is tried and tested. It comes with a BIS approval for the battery and other products, so it's certified for Indian environment. Our solutions, because we're selling it globally, we've got the solution tested and approved and got certification from the likes of Lloyd's Registrar, Lycra. It's ISO 2700 solution on the software. It's SOC 2 compliant. I talked to ISO 9000 on the device itself. So the key benefits and the features of the solution is no WPC fees to be paid, no maintenance of infrastructure. Motorola hosts and does everything. We offer a 2-year warranty on the device, a 1-year warranty on the handset. The service center during your warranty is supported through our developments, through our service center in Bangalore. It's very easy and quick to deploy. You're getting new features like we talked about, like emergency broadcast, GPS. The solution is built and made in India, so it meets our Atmanirbhar Bharat goal. And we are very proud of our team of the solution that developed and is being sold globally. Should you have any queries after this presentation, please free to reach out through our partners, and we'll be more than happy to answer any of the queries. Thank you.